Horton's NHL accolades include 4 Stanley Cup championships during his 20-year tenure with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Unlike most places this winter in western New York, Holiday Valley embraces the amount of snow that falls here in Ellicottville. Dr. Rod Hughes was an associate professor in the Department of Philosophy here at St. Bonaventure University since 1970. The St. Bonaventure and Hilbert communities will soon find out the future of their respective schools. Were you part of the record 114.4 million viewers that tuned into Super Bowl 49? Well, of course you were. Did you witness one of the all-time worst calls in NFL history? Again, of course you did. Roll the tape. For spring break, most families and students are leaving the blistery winter of western New York for the beaches and the warm temperatures of the South. Has the internet ever led you to believe that you have a serious illness? If this is the case, you should proceed with caution the next time you do an online search of your medical symptoms. It is on this court behind me at the Riley Center where the 4 graduating seniors have made a name for themselves over the last 4 years. Rehab House was recently condemned by the Allegheny Police Department. Why, you ask? Well, pretty sure you can tell this by looking at it. I'm standing in front of this home on Stardust Lane in Olean, New York. Not many people know this, but Terry Pegula, the owner of the Buffalo Sabres and now principal owner of the Buffalo Bills, got his start at this very home right behind me. It is right here at St. Bonaventure University where Yusu began his climb to the top. The St. Bonaventure basketball season is in full swing, and as always, the vivacious student section is a topic of interest. This winter, western New York has been pummeled by countless snowstorms. Over 80 inches of snow has blanketed the region so far this winter, and it isn't showing any signs of stopping. Unlike most western New Yorkers, one local business doesn't mind the constant sub-zero temperatures and snowstorms. In fact, they wouldn't mind even more wintry weather as we head into the spring.
This year is so consistent ever since the beginning of January that, that amount of snow is great.
Unlike most places this winter in western New York, Holiday Valley embraces the amount of snow that falls here in Ellicottville, New York. The more snow means more snowboarders and skiers get to come out and ride the winter waves.
Previous years, usually the snow comes and then goes, but this year it's been consistent, which I love because I come here all the time, so it's been pretty good this year.
The snow's been keeping it consistent so that we can keep coming.
This is a good year, and we have a lot of base out there, basically because it's been cold since kind of the beginning of January, and we really haven't had any weather cycles, so whatever snow we've received, whatever snow we made, it just keeps building up. So the conditions are awesome. Skiing is really good. It's been very cold, so it kind of preserves everything.
After my interview with Eschball, I decided to get on the lift and take it to the slopes. I guess the freezing temps and tons of snow could be fun. It just depends on how you look at it. I'm snowboarding right now. For SBU TV, I'm Michael Loffredo. Grabbing a coffee and a bagel is a routine for most during your average person's morning commute. Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop first opened its doors in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada in 1964. While many will just enjoy their morning pick-me-up, some ask the question, who is Tim Horton and why is this place in existence?
No idea who Tim Horton is.
Never heard of it.
Who's that?
Horton was one of the best defensemen the game of professional hockey has ever seen, and a professor at St. Bonaventure University had a connection with the Hockey Hall of Famer that was as close as cream and sugar to go along with your morning cup of joe.
Well, Horty came out of retirement to play for the Sabres, and my stall in the dressing room happened to be next to the one they gave to him, and so I just chatted with him a bit, and my relationship was, I guess it was like with almost any of the players, and that was good for me because I was doing a lot of practice goaltending, and well, he wasn't a warm, fuzzy buddy of mine, but he was a friendly acquaintance of mine, and we shot the bull a few times together, and I enjoyed talking to him. I know I'm probably one of the last people on the earth who probably skated on the ice with Tim Horton, and it's kind of a weird feeling.
Horton accumulated 24 seasons in the National Hockey League. Known for his strength and calmness under pressure, Horton's NHL accolades include 4 Stanley Cup championships during his 20-year tenure with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Horton's career ended as a member of the Buffalo Sabres, but his career did not come to an end on the ice. Wieland, the former public relations director for the Buffalo Sabres from 1970 to 1995, had quite the daunting task in the early morning hours on February 21st of 1974.
And so he drove down the Queen Elizabeth Way to get back to Buffalo. He had permission. And he got near St. Catherine's, and right in front of the hotel where the team usually stayed in training camp, he lost control and he was killed in the accident. And my phone rang about, I guess, 3 in the morning, about that time. It was the provincial police in St. Catherine's, and they told me that they had sad news for me that Tim Horton had been killed in an accident. And I was in shock, like anyone would be. And then I had to do the job of calling up Jim Leck, the coach, and the general manager, calling up the coach, Joe Crozier, and then calling the media.
After Horton's death, business partner Ron Joyce kept the franchise going as the sole owner. Now in 2015, Tim Hortons has thousands of locations throughout Canada and the northeastern United States, and inside most, if not all of those locations, are pictures and memorabilia to remember the hockey great who brought you the coffee and donuts you all can't live without. Reporting for SBU TV, I'm Michael Loffredo.
Light the falls pink, and there we go!
Every October, people across the world take part in creating awareness for breast cancer. It is the second leading cause of cancer death in women, as 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer in her lifetime. Professional sports teams, especially the National Football League, deck themselves out in pink during games to support the cause.
It can be a visual to a breast cancer patient to say, hey, we got your back here, we're supporting you, we're trying to be there for you. And at various points in the experience, that can matter immensely.
Each October, we take time to spread awareness for breast cancer research. Here on the campus of St. Bonaventure University, Carol McNall, a journalism and mass communications professor, is a survivor of breast cancer.
It's hard to find anybody who doesn't realize, at least with the pink ribbons, that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You know, in a lot of ways, it's nice to have people still looking at the issue. There are enough of us who are survivors that there would be a temptation to say, oh, well, it's all fixed, it's all done. And the Awareness Month, we can say, no, it's not all fixed, and there are still people dying of breast cancer.
I also caught up with Nicole Longo, senior education major here at St. Bonaventure, as her and her roommates decided that it would raise awareness by partying for a purpose.
It just was kind of like a spur of the moment. We always thought about raising money for something.
How much money did you raise through the party?
We raised almost $400. Cancer affects people, almost everyone now. My grandma personally had breast cancer, but she got over it. So that's near and dear to my heart. And I think it's just important to raise awareness for it, so maybe one day we'll finally find a cure.
For SBU TV, I'm wearing pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. On January 30th, the St. Bonaventure community lost one of its longtime members. Dr. Roderick Hughes of the Philosophy Department passed away peacefully in his home as he lost his battle with a traumatic heart condition.
He's made a mark just on the commitment to teaching, the commitment to his students, the quality of his teaching, the priority that he gave to his teaching. All of that, I think, is a huge part of his legacy.
Dr. Rod Hughes was an associate professor in the Department of Philosophy here at St. Bonaventure University since 1970. Many professors like Chiarello and well over 6,000 students were touched and moved by Hughes over his 45 years of dedicated service to the St. Bonaventure University campus. It was classrooms like this one behind me where Hughes performed countless lessons of critical thinking.
But it really is his teaching that he will be remembered for. He probably taught more than 6,000 Bonaventure students, if you can even wrap your mind around touching 6,000 Bonaventure students in all aspects of philosophy. Pre-Clare core curriculum and post-Clare, of course.
In an interview with SBU TV from the fall of 2013, Hughes showed us the mechanism that kept his heart beating until just a few short weeks ago.
And so when the time comes at the end of the day and the little buzzer goes off, I have to pop that out, okay, and just replace them. I got about another 6 sets or so. And while it's out, you only take one out at a time. It gives you that little signal that you better get something in there.
Though Dr. Hughes has passed away, his legacy left behind here at St. Bonaventure University will never be forgotten.
But generally, there's a reservoir of just damn decent goodwill that that Rod projected, you know, and the spirit of collegiality, the good humor, the friendship. You know, there's no way to replace him.
We'll always remember you, Rod. Godspeed.
For SBU TV, I'm Michael Loffredo.